Oh, here we are, unmuted. Thanks so much for joining us today. And we're seeing everybody writing in right now where they're from. You guys from joining us from all over the world. Love it. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And yeah, letting us educate you. So first, let's talk about everything on the market right now. Has a lot to do with weight loss, right? And there's this magic pill or magic something that's going to do everything that you wanted to do. But we all know that can't be possible. It just can't be possible, right? Otherwise, that's all we'd be taking. That'd be the only thing out there.
I mean, the GLP-1s are the closest thing we've ever seen to that thing. But look at the consequences of taking those, right?
Right. Maybe they help the weight fall off, but does it really help you have proper weight management? Does it really help you
body composition?
Have a healthy body composition?
Right.
So we're gonna.
The answer is no.
The answer is no, for sure.
No, they do not. So there's a lot of things to know about proper way to lose weight, and a lot of people are asking these questions because we're waking up and realizing as a society we are overweight for the most part.
Yes. And being overweight leads to a lot of healthy things. So
unhealthy things. Right.
Today we want you to forget the crash diets, forget the magic pills. We need sustainable weight loss. We need healthy weight loss, and it's not just weight. Right? It's not just the number on the scale.
Yep, correct.
It has to do with body mass. And that's what we're really going to deep dive into today. And yes, we have a lot of products here. Just to start off, I just want to let you know, this compromises all these 9 products are our ultimate weight management pack.
Okay.
And we have designed this for a specific purpose. We have put this together for a specific purpose. And we want to educate you on why we have done what we've done and how together this will help you with a healthy weight management, a healthy body composition. Again, it's not just about losing weight, because that weight could also be lean muscle mass, and losing that can make you very unhealthy. So we want to, the goal really is to replace fat mass with lean muscle mass. And that's what, helps us live a long, healthy life and with sustainable weight loss, something that you can keep for forever.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel like we're hiding behind a lot of products now because it is
a lot. Yeah, no, it's a lot of stuff.
But thanks so much again for joining us. If you guys don't already, make sure you like, follow, subscribe to all of our channels. Give us feedback, comments. We love it all. We will address any questions pertaining to our ultimate weight management pack today. So make sure you write those in. If not, just throw us your comments. We love it all. And again, thanks so much for joining. So first, I want to just throw it out there let's talk a little bit about risk factors associated with being overweight. And this is not like a scare tactic, but it is scary, right? I want you to understand.
Let me pull up my notes. I don't print mine. I did email myself.
Okay.
So you go.
But there are a lot of risks associated with being overweight. And the desire to lose weight, and right, again, when we're talking about weight, we're not just talking about the number on the scale, but I'm just going to keep saying that. It's not just about looking well in the mirror, fitting well in your clothing. It has so much more to do with it.
Not just about vanity.
Not just about vanity.
Yeah,
and I'm talking about cardiovascular diseases, right? Yeah. So we hit home with that. We have high blood pressure, heart disease, cholesterol, high cholesterol, high triglycerides specifically, heart attack and stroke. All of it lumped into there. And I guarantee you all know somebody that has something on that list of cardiovascular disease, if not yourself. Okay.
Sure.
A lot of that is, being overweight and being obese is a contributing factor.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Type 2 diabetes. We also know that's a big one, right? And a lot of times many people have both. Hormonal or metabolic disorders. So maybe you have these crazy hormonal disruptions. Maybe you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. Maybe you have endometriosis. I'm just throwing things out there more female-wise right now, or low testosterone or whatever it may be. And you're just thinking like, oh, my hormones are just off. Well, if you are overweight or obese, that could be a major reason why you have hormonal imbalances.
Yep.
Joint and bone issues. You suffer from those achiness in your joints. And Ryan has actually just commented on this today. He's like, gosh, think about, so that happens to be, if you're carrying around extra weight, that's a lot for your joints to take on. And also not just like your knees, your ankles, your hips, whatnot. You have extra inflammation. So that could hurt any joints, your knuckles, your elbows, your shoulders. But Ryan had just mentioned this morning, he's like, picture taking a rucksack, which, we will use on our backs when we're going on a long walk. And it's a lot. I mean, when you get, and mine's only 20 pounds, Ryan's
Right, but
30.
say you just put 10 on, right?
Right.
Just 10 pounds
all day. You're going to hurt.
You're going to hurt. And that's why sedentary lifestyle sets in too, because
you sit down more.
You sit down. Yeah. You don't want to move. You just realize that weight is just such a burden.
Yeah.
But you don't realize it.
Right.
Because it's inside your body.
Right.
You're just like, it's not external.
Right.
It's not just something you can detach from yourself.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. So
you try it. Put 10 pound rucksack, 20 pound, 30 pound, just for an hour and see how you feel.
Right. You can't wait to take it off.
And we love wearing it because it's load bearing, and we do it on, it's low impact, even though you're walking. But yeah, we do it for exercise.
But again,
to hit the type the
when
zone
the exercise,
two and to
when the
do the
exercise
things.
is over, I can't wait to take it off.
I can't wait to take it off.
Yes.
It's hard to imagine another 30 or 40 or 50 pounds overweight. That's just.
Yep.
That's difficult to understand.
For sure. So there's your joint and bone issues, respiratory issues. Just think how many people with sleep apnea. I mean, fat around the neck can block airways, breathing problems during sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep apnea is dangerous.
And just mildly overweight.
Right.
You don't need to be morbidly obese.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so and then that's unsafe for the person with it, because sleep apnea is very, it has lots of risks.
Yeah, risk. Yeah.
It also disrupts your sleep. It also
Right.
disrupts your partner's sleep if you're sleeping in the bed with anybody.
Right.
So then you have two people that are not sleeping well. And
Right.
then that leads to a whole cascade of events, because we know that sleep is like the most important thing ever. Asthma, breathing difficulties at all. Okay. Mental health, depression, anxiety, cognitive decline. This can all be because of being overweight. Digestive and liver diseases. The non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The main contributing factor is being overweight. Right? Because of being overweight, then you probably have blood sugar, dysregulation, and it all contributes to it. Just reflux, many people have reflux. I get that question often. Like, what do I do for my reflux? Well, step one, let's see, are you overweight? That's number one question. Because just by losing some lbs in the proper way can help you eliminate your reflux. Increase cancer risk. Cancer is a scary thing, that big C word. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to think about it. You almost want to push it out of your brain, but it shouldn't be pushed out. That big C word should be here all the time. You should be thinking about, what can I do to decrease my risk of possibly getting cancer? You need to have a healthy body composition. Reproductive and pregnancy complications, which is on the rise.
Yeah.
Infertility is very big deal. And this is not just for women. This is men too, because you're the other half of this.
Yeah.
We can't get pregnant alone.
Yeah.
So you have to think about that. Being overweight.
Infertility docs say that's the number one thing for sure. And their business is booming.
Yeah. Because it's almost easier to just go take a measure of getting fertility help than losing weight.
Yeah. Losing weight
should be step one. And of course, reduce life expectancy and quality of life. Of course, think about everything we just read, quality of life. So,
that's, the social isolation thing comes through that too. Sure. So people just can't keep up with their peers, or physically isolated, right? Mm-hmm. They're limited in their activities. There's a bias and a discrimination too. Now I get it that more and more people are overweight and obese, but there is still that discriminatory stuff that goes on, right? So, and this has not, it's fun from Lisa and I's perspective. We learn as much from you guys, and hopefully as much you do from us. But this lifelong learning thing is our mission, and I get really bothered by the people that are super aggressive with the weight conversation, because it really comes across as shaming.
Right.
And really there's a lot of influence on the reason why people are more overweight than they were back 50 years ago, 30 years ago.
Sure.
Things the food companies have done, nefarious activities.
Yeah.
R&D science has figured out pleasure center foods, ways to trigger people, ways to keep them coming back.
Chemicals in foods.
So by no means do I think it's just humans just want to be fat and lazy.
Right.
I don't believe that.
Right.
It's not what they want to be.
Right.
So there's a lot of that part of this conversation. I want to make sure that, y'all understand that where we're coming from.
Sure. And if this is you, and maybe it hits home from some of the things that we just read off, you have the power to do this, and we're making this easy for you. And that's why we really wanted to bring this pack up and really address what it is and why it's built.
And call out some of the bad actors like you opened with.
Sure.
Don't buy into some marketing hype about one magic supplement that's going to fix all your overweight elements.
Right. And if you do this one way of eating, you're going to be
or
set.
one diet plan. It's not fair.
Right. I mean, the takeaway is that you're managing weight has to be a balanced diet, regular exercise.
That's right.
Regular exercise and healthy lifestyle, including your supplementation.
Sure.
So,
and with a healthy dose of skepticism, I mean, I hate to say it, but we need to be a little more skeptical of marketing, of food companies, of all of them, right? Even the farming, the major farming activities that are happening. So
sure.
Question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So first I want to start with micronutrient deficiencies.
Yeah.
So this is why, I'm just going to pull these out front. This is why we have our multivitamin, our D and our magnesium.
Yep.
I mean, as well as our factor 4. So I'm just going to kind of pull into them all.
Yep.
So certain deficiencies in vitamins can prevent us from losing weight, prevent us from having a healthy body composition.
That's right.
And it's as simple as just being deficient in like 1 or 2 vitamins or minerals that are going to have this effect.
Mm-hmm.
So we have vitamin D. Low levels are linked to increased fat storage and difficulty in burning fat.
Sure.
So maybe you're doing everything right. Maybe you're eating really well and you're really exercising. You're putting that time in the gym, but you are deficient in vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just storing more fat and you're having a harder time burning fat just because you're low in this one little guy.
Right.
So super important.
Yep.
Magnesium, essential for energy production and insulin regulation. If we have, insulin dysregulation, you're going to have a lot of trouble.
You will
losing weight and burning that fat.
It's interesting about magnesium. 300 chemical reactions is what they say, right? But you for sure, absolutely, that it's involved in energy metabolism. It's involved in electron transport chain as a cofactor. So that's number one. As soon as that's disrupted, your energy transfer process is compromised, right?
Right.
It's also involved in activating a B vitamin too. There's so many things that magnesium does.
Right.
And she said it's essential, which means we have to get it from food. And we don't get enough of it.
Correct.
You can see the daily consumption numbers over the years has declined significantly to the point where we're deficient for sure. Almost across the board.
Right. And so you just leading into my next one is B vitamins, because you said how you
need
magnesium is necessary to activate B vitamins.
Yeah.
And our multivitamins, so you would choose either the men's or the women's in this pack,
right?
Have the full B vitamin complex in them. So B vitamins help convert food into energy. They help with metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are, maybe you're taking your multi and you're doing a great job, yay, kudos to you, but you're deficient in magnesium, right? So you see what's happening here. You have to have, a balance of levels of all your micronutrients.
Yep.
To make sure that your body is functioning properly. And if your body's not functioning properly, this is going to be a big barrier into doing anything that you're trying to work on to improve your health.
Right. Vitamin D also depends on magnesium too for a lot of things.
Yes. For sure. And what? Go ahead.
Go. Yeah.
Okay. Iron deficiency is a big one. And iron deficiency is becoming more and more common. Now, we do only have iron in our women's multivitamin because women are more prone to lower levels of iron, just to, if you're still menstruating. But we are seeing this across the board, how more and more people are deficient in iron. So make sure you get your levels checked.
Yep.
As easy test, simple, easy test. But it can help significantly slow your metabolism. We have iodine, zinc, chromium. They all play a role in some type of regulation for weight loss. So iodine is big with thyroid function. If you have a sluggish thyroid, you have trouble losing weight. So instead of rushing to maybe get on a thyroid medication, let's address maybe we have low iodine. Maybe we need to supplement with iodine and kick our thyroid into gear.
Sure.
Zinc is great for insulin function, helps regulate appetite, also in the multivitamins. Chromium supports insulin sensitivity. And omegas, omega-3 fatty acids, these support fat metabolism. We know reduce inflammation. So in here, we don't just have our omegas. We have 4 ingredients that help reduce inflammation, our CoQ10, our turmeric, and our garlic, as well as the omegas. super important that you're taking. And we recommend 2 per day, but you'll notice if you've emailed me before, I likely increase that dose for you, right? I likely say take
Up to
4
6 a
to
day.
6 per day.
Yeah.
Because if you really have something going on, you need to get that body to where it's at optimal levels. And again, if you ever question anything, get a micronutrient test. It is an out-of-pocket expense. It is not super cheap, but you don't have to do it all the time. But it's good to know where you're at, because I know a lot of people think that they're not deficient because they don't notice anything significant. But if you are having trouble losing weight, that is significant, right? That is, don't
Sure.
just chalk that up to genes. Okay, so then we basically just went through this line here.
Is there anything in there that's missing that you would suggest maybe that was something we do not have
In the pack?
Yeah.
Probiotic gut support.
Well, it's not in the pack
Not
right
in
now.
the pack.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I
Yeah.
had to tack something on, I mean, you have to address your gut. First of all, you have to be
Yeah.
able to absorb the nutrients that you're getting. So we have digestive enzymes in there. You have to have a balanced gut microbiome to be able to lose weight properly. I mean, the gut is so much. So, I mean, I could keep adding on, but you can't put everything in a pack.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, protein. Let's talk about protein's role. If you'll notice on our website right now, we just have our plant-based one available, but it's going to give you an option. We're working on that now. Going to give you an option whether you want to do the plant-based vanilla or the whey chocolate. Both of them, same 30 servings, 20 grams of protein. So, I mean, protein plays and as we're talking about protein, we might as well talk about our essential aminos as well. But protein plays a major role.
Sure. Does.
In a healthy weight. Put it that way.
Yeah.
It helps boost metabolism. It helps with your appetite and cravings. So say you just an example, you go out to lunch, and you're like, I'm going to eat so healthy. I'm just going to get a salad. You eat that salad, doesn't really have anything on it. Lots of loaded vegetables, great antioxidants.
Yeah, sure.
And then like less than an hour later, your stomach's like, maybe your mood shifting, you're still hungry. It's not gonna do much for you. You need to have the protein for satiety. You need to have the protein to help you go from meal to meal without crashing in the middle. Very important for that.
And if you guys want to hear more about why one of these particular products is so important, you can actually watch that Zoom specifically on it. We've done a lot of focused Zooms on these things because I'm about to dive into protein. I'm like, well, I don't want to take 15 minutes talking about protein right now. But the key takeaways is what Lisa said, plus the fact that they're composed of amino acids, and those amino acids are going to be part of your building blocks. They're going to be part of the process to develop your hormones, your neurotransmitters, your enzymes. They are what's responsible mostly for muscle protein synthesis. As you put on more lean muscle, of course, the body becomes more efficient. It has higher energy demands. Therefore, hopefully your resting metabolic rate will improve.
100%.
And then lean muscle mass is better for virtually everything else, as far as recovery goes, as far as processing, neurogenesis, so like nervous system type related stuff, or the neurodegenerative disease you see with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. These are the things you need to focus on really, truly, from a lifestyle component, is keeping the muscle on it from an early age and maintaining it as best as you possibly can as you progress through your years.
Right, for sure. And also, I was just talking a lot about lean muscle mass. So once you get that lean muscle mass, you have to preserve it.
You do.
It's not going to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with micronutrients, right? You get those levels up there, they're not going to stay.
But to that point, though, remember how earlier we said that, it's a shame because people that are overweight and carrying all that extra weight around tend to be sedentary because it gets tiring. It's exhausting.
Yes.
And their energy transfer process is compromised. So therefore they have extra weight and they're not transferring energy as well. So they're tired. Mm-hmm. But a body in motion likes to stay in motion, just that simple law of physics. But when you start exercising daily and you start putting that lean muscle mass on, you actually feel better and more energetic from that movement. That's two ends of the spectrum.
Sure.
I mean, you can choose one or you can really work towards the other. And then once you get towards the other, you'll stay there and you'll feel a lot better for it. I mean, there's plenty of studies, lots of evidence to support the mental health benefits, the physical, the longevity. I mean, all of those things.
Right. And so right along with the quality, the protein
quality, sure. We'll take quality.
The 20 grams of protein per serving here, they also do include, protein sources include essential amino acids, but it's important to get our free form essential amino acids. And if you're questioning all that, we just did this last week. Last week was all about our essential amino acids free form and why free form amino acids are important on top of taking protein or just eating protein, eggs, beef, chicken, whatever it is you're eating. So go ahead and check that one out too. But, you know, again, it also helps with hormone balance, reduces appetite cravings, enhances fat loss. I mean, so many things. Okay, moving on to hydration. Why is it important to hydrate with electrolytes? So we've done a training on it, just our hydration. Like Ryan said, go check that out if you want to do a deeper dive. But water alone doesn't hydrate us. So you have to make sure you are hydrating with electrolytes to properly hydrate. Believe it or not, it will help prevent bloating and water retention, which a lot of times, if somebody is carrying a lot of excess weight, a lot of that is also water weight, just with all that inflammation that you're carrying as well.
Sure.
So sometimes when starting to do things, clean yourself up, do things healthy for yourself, that initial weight loss you get might not be fat loss. That initial weight loss is that bloating, right? That water weight is going to start to come off quickly as you decrease that inflammation. And hydrating with electrolytes help to rid that.
One of the reasons, like you
weight.
said, why you don't want to look at the scale, right? We're not just trying to look at the scale because it can be misleading to what the real goal is of body composition.
Sure.
But if you look at it, I can't remember the number, but if we did a quick Google search, you could see the water composition of a muscle cell versus a fat cell, right? Like that in itself will just tell you everything you need to know. Then not to mention the body, the brain, the lungs, the heart. I mean, you're talking about 75% of that tissue is made up of water. So you got to properly hydrate. Sure. And that means choosing even better quality water and not using water that's been sitting in roasting in hot plastic bottles or just drinking direct from the tap. So
for sure,
when you said quality earlier, quality is also a big component.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it boosts energy, exercise performance. So we know that exercise is playing a role in all this. It helps regulate appetite and cravings, supports metabolism, fat burning, prevents muscle cramps and weakness, aids digestion, reduces constipation. I mean, this is just hydration.
Yeah, sure.
Just simple hydration.
So real quick, Lisa, I'm just going to stop here. How much magnesium do we need? Well, look, the RDA is about 420 a day for an adult, but you guys know we need more than that. That's just to reduce deficiencies and disease-related process from that. Optimized levels are probably much higher. Remember, it's dietary, and the magnesium will. This is another good one. Any word on methylated vitamins coming? So methylated this is from Hugh St. Dennis. Thank you for the question. Methylated is referring to primarily B vitamins, but methylation is the process where many people struggle with. It's a detox pathway. It's a biological way of breaking down and detoxing or making things more bioavailable for our body. Many people are compromised because they have the MTHFR gene variant or whatever it might be. We do include methylated vitamins in our multivitamin. That is how we roll. She has MTHFR gene variant. Lots of people do. And it's better to have these methylated B vitamins than it is not to. Right. So higher quality for sure.
And I'm glad you read that question because I actually have been getting that question in email often because I know a lot of the literature is out there. Like you need to be taking methylated vitamins and, yes, they are.
Yeah, definitely. Methylated. And you'll pay more for it, but you'll see. We've included them. Hi, Christina. It says, I wish your vitamin D supplement was higher than 2,000 international units in each capsule. Well, we don't. So the 2,000 units we got to be careful. These are fat soluble vitamins. They can build up in our tissues. 2,000 units should yield between 30 and 50 nanograms per ml in blood of vitamin D levels. So when you go to get checked, you want to know your numbers. If you're truly deficient and low and you need, say, 10,000 units, you should definitely be doing that under the supervision of a physician. Right. I think you can overdose on vitamin D. It is fat soluble. It can be very dangerous in higher levels. 2,000, I take 2 a day. That's why there's 60 capsules in there. So it's actually, if you think about it from a 30-day serving, they're 4,000 units really, because 2 capsules for a day times for 30 days.
And we did that so you can dose dependent on your own blood levels.
That's right.
And
you
obviously
move the number.
Right. And obviously if you need more based upon your blood work, then
more.
you can take more.
And at that price, buy more than one. But that is the safest. I would say that's on the high end. Most people, if you notice, they say around 1,000 or 800. I don't think that was enough. But I was really focusing on that blood level. She likes to be over 50. Well, you're closer to 70.
Well, no, I'm up in the high 80s, believe it or not. And I alternate. I'll take 2 one day and 1 the next day because if I were to take 2 a day, it would even go even higher. So again, it's you have to do it based upon your blood work.
Yep. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. So thank you, Reginald. Appreciate the comment.
Let's talk just 2 more.
Yeah, please. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So we still have coffee. So we know caffeine can aid in weight management. That's a big one with coffee. Boosts metabolism, enhances fat oxidation, improves workout performance, which right? You're just saying 2 if we're low on energy as well. Like sometimes, help get that boost. It can temporarily suppress appetite if you need that. But there's also in here, there's fiber.
Oh yeah.
Which feels you full. I mean, we've got maca.
Maca, yeah. Sure.
Adaptogenic mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
All aid in weight loss. And then I'm going to let you take that one.
Yeah, for sure. One thing about the coffee though, it's USDA certified organic, and that is, I mean, if you're a coffee drinker, most of us are, but guys, this is crazy world we're living in, where you can assume you're drinking coffee and you're just okay. You're not really, unless it's truly organic. You got to be very, very careful about your coffee.
And why is that?
Not only does it have to do with the commercial growing and harvesting and processing of the bean, which is just completely disgusting in the way they do it. A lot of petrochemicals. They basically voids the bean of all of its beneficial phytonutrients and antioxidants, and then you're putting it through like a Keurig K-cup, like we saw that thing, but hot water boiling through plastics, or you're boiling, you're using this crummy coffee with high in molds, high in toxins like ochratoxin, high in microplastics, phthalates, PFAS. You'll see PFAS now in coffees, and Starbucks, Dunkin', all of them. They don't use organic coffees. Right. Crazy to me. Crazy. Just
think about what an excess toxic burden is going to do
Tons of
to your weight loss program.
But coffee is so beneficial because of all those beneficial compounds in the bean. So I love coffee. I recommend it, but it's got to be organic.
Yes. And then we have
the lean.
So lean is our weight management supplement.
Body composition improvement formula.
We will tell you again, if you've watched the training on this, that this is just part of it, right? That you need to do all these lifestyle factors as well, which is everything that we're discussing, plus healthy diet, proper exercise. So, I mean, maybe you can just hit home real quick, a couple key ingredients in there. Yeah. Really, the ingredients in lean, they're designed to help you feel full when eating.
Sure, satiety.
Yeah, so you're eating your food, but the fiber expands in your stomach. You can talk about that a little more.
Sure.
So you're not able to eat as much, right? This is like step 1, because a lot of times people are overweight because they are
they don't know how to eat, shut off their eating.
Right.
What they're
taking in exceeds what they're putting out, basically.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's a
so you're gonna feel full, and then also helps stabilize blood sugar when eating. So one of the things that prevents us from losing weight has to do with our blood sugar dysregulation, our insulin resistance.
Yeah.
But when you eat food, naturally our blood sugar is going to go up. No matter what you eat, it's going to go up a little bit. But depending on what you eat, I mean, you could get these if you're eating lots of sugars, processed foods, unhealthy carbs. You're going to get these big spikes and all that. But what we want to do is help have a balance. I call them rolling hills instead of peaks and valleys with our blood sugar. So lean really helps.
Yeah, it does. Fiber, digestive enzymes, different other ingredients to fire on different receptors. So you got like the New Zealand hops extract. Some of you may have heard, but great for GLP-1 activation. There's a lot of things that activate GLP-1. You probably don't. GLP-1s are the big class of drugs that are used for weight loss, originally developed for diabetes. So we know that it's maintaining lower sugars and increasing insulin sensitivity. It also slows the gastric transit time, so it slows down the amount of time that food takes to pass through the GI tract. So it'll help you feel fuller for longer. And yeah, taking it 45 minutes to an hour before food, certainly it will help curb some of your appetite. It can help with cravings. It can help, hopefully, as you start to eat, it'll help you realize your 80% set point, right? We should stop eating when we're 80% full, but can be challenging when you sit down to a big meal on an empty stomach with nothing in you, and you eat too fast. So by the time the brain even gets a signal from the stomach, is 15 to 20 minutes later. So within the first 10 minutes that you just took down, a giant serving of not such good food, if you took lean prior to, it helps. The brain had already started to receive those signals and can really help. So with the cravings and the curbing of the appetite. But again, we call it a body composition improvement formula. You have the berberine is in there. You have the glucomannan. It's a couple different fibers, but the glucomannan can expand. It's to 100 times its weight in water. So it's an expansive fiber. Great utility, an amazing product. But again, like anything else we said today, it's not just this, and it'll fix all of your weight loss ailments and issues. So
it's not a magic pill.
It's not. It's really not.
It helps.
But
with the weight management.
In my opinion, and I'm the formulator. Nothing comes close to it on the market, in my opinion.
And of course, guys, don't forget about exercise. It really plays a crucial role in weight loss. Helps burn fat, burn calories, build muscle mass. improve your metabolic health. And, you know, sometimes, a lot of times, exercise is the hardest thing to start to implement. So
Sure is. Yeah.
start with the pack. Be consistent on this for 3 months. You'll start to feel better, right? Then you know, your energy production goes up. Then try to add in that exercise, you know? So step by step. A lot of times we get overwhelmed when we try to do everything at once. And this is a lot to introduce at once. So start here.
Yes.
But really, you know, it's the best approach to weight management, a healthy, sustainable weight management.
Cool. Good job.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Any
All right.
other questions?
No, we hit them all. We hit them. I'm trying to do a better job of just answering the questions that are relevant or pertinent to the discussion today. Anything else, you're more than welcome to email us.
Right. And like Ryan said, make sure you check out on our YouTube channel our previous trainings, because each one of these topics has its own training session. I did just see a quick question on lean, just quick dose if you're new to joining. It is 2 capsules prior to each meal. So someone's saying, how late can you take it? Take 2 before breakfast, 2 before lunch, 2 before dinner. We advise taking it 30 to 60 minutes. If you have a slower digestion, 60 to 90 minutes before, you know, so start to learn your body, because you really want to get down into your stomach and do what it's supposed to do.
And for all the people out there asking about different products and are we going to have something for the non-coffee drinkers? You know, it's funny. Yes, we're actually working on a tea even. And I know how many different types of teas are out there. We are big tea drinkers ourselves. So I would love to have a healthy tea out there. We'll see about caffeine, because one of the things I want to help people with is avoiding too much caffeine throughout the day.
Yeah.
But there is a lot to come, guys. We have literally just gotten started. So stay tuned for more. Thank you all for tuning in today.
Thank you for joining us. And I believe we will miss next week because we are out of the country, unfortunately. So use that time to go and watch our training videos on each one of these. So then you can really put it all together and understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, because education is key.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.